What is up, everybody? Cheers, namaste, love, and greetings to you all. True Patriot, also known as CC2 Arms. Been a while, folks. Been a while. My ability to live stream on my other channel is having difficulties. Many of you know I've just got another PC built. The intent was to get back outside, get back out here in nature, get back to live streaming in a place we feel comfortable, a place that where there's a little bit of a sanctuary. I feel a little more at ease with the plants and the animals. Drop this background music down a bit. I don't even know how any of this stuff is working out. Like I said, it's been a long time, folks, long time. Alright, we'll just drop it down all the way for a minute. I'm showing quite a bit of lag. I do have 3 computers set up in here right now, and I don't know if the lag that I'm seeing, if you all are seeing it as well. I don't know if it's lag from one computer to the next. Mr. Greenbody, cheers, friend. Peace and cheers and love to everyone. Smoking a little bit of the Panama Ninja. Kind of a rough day today. We're about out. Jar's about empty. Oh, and one of the girls has balls. I guess that would mean it's not, in fact, a girl that I'm looking at. The balls on this here plant tell me that it's most probably either a male or a hermaphrodite, being male and female. Doubtful, but it's always possible. But we do know that, you see what happened, folks. It had to go. Been kind of busy here lately. A lot of stuff going on here on the farm. I hope that the audio is okay. I hope that video looks alright. Hoping that this lag that I'm seeing in my movements and in my actions, I hope that's not visible on the part of any of my friends or family or fellow members of society that might be seeing this or might see it at a later date. It's been, I don't know, how long has it been since we've been out here in the barn doing things? 9 months? 8 months? I don't know. Some of you were here. And it's surprising. You remember, many of you may remember the laptop that I spilt the beer on that burnt up. Yeah, I got a motherboard put back in her, and it appears she's going to work. Something else is the trip, it really is. She's actually working. She's working half-ass. And then the gaming computer, the retro gaming PC that I built last week, well, it's still a work in progress. Anyway, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? She's right there. She's all hooked up. She's running just OBS, nothing else. She's gonna be like the in charge of the stream PC. That's her function. Nothing else. No antivirus bullshit. No fucking I ain't worried about nothing. Completely unprotected. However, her only purpose is to run OBS. So I'm just happy to be back doing a live stream thing. Be even happier once I get these peppers done. That's been a big task the last several days. I've got this one here. I've got, let me pull this other camera back, show you what we're about to get going and working on here. Oh yeah, folks. We're about to cut some Carolina Reapers up right quick. Get them all cut off there because I got to get the dehydrator loaded back. I have a cheap little 5-tray dehydrator that I had gotten off of Amazon. What did I give for it? $26. So when I say cheap, I mean real cheap. And those 5 trays that are, when I fill them completely full, I found that it's about 3/4 of one of these Carolina Reaper plants. And I've still got 12 plants that I've got to dry. And the Carolina Reapers, what I did with them was I did sun dry them for about, I don't know, 2 weeks. But they're still not quite dry, and I'm finding that they're taking about an additional 6 to 8 hours in the dehydrator to just get them just enough to where I feel comfortable getting them put up, and don't want to have any issues. You know, you want them pretty much cracker dry. If any of you have ever been into mycology, y'all know what cracker dry is. I mean, we're talking literally like no water. If you were to squeeze it, it would turn into powder in your hand. Reason you're shooting for that small of a moisture content when dealing with peppers and stuff like that is any residual moisture in those things, yeah, it will mold, it will rot, it will really mess you up. So, I'm not trying to be lazy, but I'm going to pack another bowl. And local grower organics. Look, brother, I'm still using it. I have dropped it. Come on. Motion activated light above me. Ain't that cool? But I've dropped this bowl 100 times, and I must say, dude, it's it's a trooper. You can't crack it. You can't break it. You can't hurt it. You can't scratch it. You drop the motherfucker all you want to. Pick it up and pack it. Fire it up. Like nobody's business. Again, more on the strain. This is the Panama Ninja. The Panama Ninja was courtesy of Black Diamond Genetics. It was the cross was Panama Red crossed with Ninja Fruit. Definitely a keeper. And I'm thankful, very, very sincerely thankful that I kept clones. Because this year, all of that rain, yeah, it was rough on us. Alright. Turn that down. I'll get all this stuff situated. I'm gonna play the noob card. Yeah, I'm pulling my that's my excuse. My stream ain't really doing worth a fuck this evening per my standards, but that's really not my fault. I'm blaming it on technical difficulties. I'll say though, everything's doing good. It's a little bit chilly in here. If I were to guess, I would say that right now I'm sitting at about 48 degrees in here. Maybe just a tad bit warmer. I mean, I do got several PCs going. I do got a few lights on. Yeah, it's chilly, folks. We got some beautiful chemtrails tonight, you can see. We had clear skies last night. Clear, cold, clear and cold at night. Except tonight when you go out, the moon is not quite full. About 3/4, what have you. Just enough moonlight in that clear sky. You can see all them lines. Looks like a fucking tic-tac-toe board. Does anybody remember Blue Skies? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I remember too. It wasn't like this a few years ago. But I know. That's normal, huh? Nowadays our sky is just eat up with all these fucking geometric patterns and shit. And fucking... them men's contrails that last for days on end. Bullshit. I call complete bullshit. Fucking spraying us like Raid, like putting us out like cockroaches and shit. Hope everyone is ready and graciously anticipating being thankful for something. No, notice I didn't say celebrating Thanksgiving, and no, I didn't say nothing about Thanksgiving per se, but I mean being thankful. Hopefully, if nothing else, if nothing fucking else comes from it, eat a good meal and be thankful that you got to do so with hopefully loving company. I know, family sucks. People in general ain't worth a fuck. However, you know, we all need each other. So, I'm actually looking forward to it this year. I'm doing a turkey in the smoker. We're also doing a turkey in the oven. I've just learned that my sister and her husband are going to grace me with their presence, that's pretty fucking cool. I mean, generally I don't really have any friends or family, but fuck, and my sister, she's just gonna pop up, her and her husband. Yeah, I think they're, what did I hear? They're bringing rolls and shit or something, I don't know. Anyway, should be interesting. I'm just talking shit. I don't see her nearly as much as I'd like to, but you know, it is, you know, one of the few family members I've got. So. And I'm about definitely medicated. I will not deny it. I am medicated. 112% or something. Go see if I can get some people in chat here, make it interesting. Since Mr. Greenbody's not being real vocal. And my other two anonymous viewers. I see you watching you, watch me, watch you. I always have to put that out there. That's my official disclaimer. Because a lot of people know that I know that they know that I know. And, anyway, it comes with its little interesting, precarious predicaments at times. But then other times it's interesting to know that there are people, places, and things that know that I know. And look, I hold no grudges. I like my haters too. So for any of my haters that may be watching, I love you too. You ain't gonna bring me down. What was I doing? Oh, that's right. I was putting some links in some chat, and then I was going to look for some Fiskers. Oh, yeah, we got some Fiskers. And now I'll probably have to turn a fucking light on so I can see. And hopefully I will not get none on my hands. Man, sometimes peppers have holes in them. You get on your hands. But I could get some of these peppers cut off, because I got a feeling that I've got a dehydrator full of them in the house that probably will need to get jarred up. And I'll be able to reload it again with some ones that need some further drying. And this mouse is just going crazy. And what's weird is each of the 3 PCs are showing... It's weird. You would expect lag, but I'm like, the lag is different on each of them. So it's funny. It's like I'll move my hand, and I'll see it in like a sequential order. None of them are keeping up with one another. Anyway, makes it look kind of funny. I don't know. It's just a trip. Where was I at? My career? Oh, I got 4 people in chat. Look at there. Somehow I got another. I got another watcher. Oh God, it's done made my day. Die a happy man. I got an additional watcher. Oh no, I got that bow done. Oh, do I got a cigarette? Yeah, I got a cigarette there. I got to turn some light on and get something to put some of these motherfuckers. I got something. I can get cutting some peppers, folks. Get cutting some of these peppers off here. Yeah, we got some bucket to put some shit in here. Come on, you. Oh yeah, I'm dropping some already, which that's understandable. Let's just see. Oh, I might pull up OBS so I can see on one of these motherfuckers. But I can, well, yeah, I can pull up chat on something else. Well, I can just get the camera fucking aimed a little bit, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing. Where are we going with that one? Move the cigarette. We got one. Oh, we got our Fiskers. And look at this. One of them done fell off. Oh yeah, folks. The Carolina Reaper. And move you over here, chair. Give me some of these motherfuckers. I'm getting all kinds of shit in my damn deal. I gotta figure out a clean way to do this shit. Wow. Everything's a wreck. It's a mess. Where do the Fiskers go? Let me get some of these branches cut off and all. Oh man, what? And see, it's deceiving because they've been hanging for almost 2 weeks, and you would think that 2 weeks natural in the elements would be enough to dry them. Huh. It motherfucker's soaking wet. They are, in terms of moisture content, they have got more moisture than just about any pepper I think I've ever grown, including but not limited to the different bell pepper varieties. And I've grown, 40 different types of bell peppers over the years. It's crazy. These things are, and why I started, another reason, aside from just wanting to maintain some of the medicinal, nutritional properties of the pepper, aside from that, another reason that I started drying them outside, and I do that for like 2 weeks prior to the dehydration process, is the first ones this year, the first plant, when I harvested it, and I harvested it its first time because I did harvest from it more than once, I thought I could just put them in a dehydrator. And when I had watched videos, when I had read articles, everything suggested to me 6 to 8 to as much as 12 hours in the dehydrator would be sufficient time to completely dry them. Bullshit. Bullshit. I had them go, what was it? It was 16 hours to get them completely dry. Well, as I said earlier, I've got a cheap dehydrator I got off Amazon for less than 30 bucks. And when you run it 16 hours, damn, I was scared the motherfucker was going to catch on fire and fucking burn me out and the damn dehydrator, and just, yeah, I don't feel comfortable running it for like 16 plus hours. So I figured if I could dry them outside naturally in their entirety, well then that would be a good thing. After 2 weeks, they're still that wet that they are in fact going to need some additional drying in the dehydrator. But I don't really feel comfortable letting them go longer outside because the temperatures are dropping now. And I don't want to get into a situation where they were to get cold enough to freeze. I think that would just pretty much ruin them. So, that being said, I've been having to get them clipped off of here. Load the dehydrator. Get it all done, load it again. Still got a bunch of chili plants. I've got to get the chili plants. Warning, good people. Howdy, howdy, friend. I see you in chat. Namaste. Love, greetings, and blessings to you. Scarecrow 420, thank you for being here. I see you as well, fam. I hope everyone is doing great. We are getting some Carolina Reapers ready to get dehydrated. And we are going to smoke some of these, folks. Yes, I'm going to smoke some of these. Not tonight, of course. I'm going to smoke some of them. Prolific producer. I mean completely prolific. I'm sorry that you got a headache. Morning, good people. They suck. Thanks to the so-called police department, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. Thanks to the so-called sheriff's department and, you know, my little issues here. I've had some headaches too lately. And they suck. And these crispy leaves and these crispy skeleton from these plants, they are going to be lovely addition to the compost pile. So I'm happy to report that 100% of every plant product that I produced thus far in the year 2018 has been utilized thus far. Meaning I have had 0% waste. Now, granted, I didn't get to... Now, I can't say that 100% of this year's crops were converted to edible for human consumption food product, medicinal or nutritional. But what I can say is that 100% of the organic fruits, vegetables, fungi, and plant species of any kind that was produced here this year has been utilized. There was no waste. Even some of the, you got a pepper that the bugs got to, and they ate half the fucking pepper. The other half of the pepper was used to feed the chickens, or used to feed some of the other animals. Or maybe some of it ended up in compost, or maybe the seeds were saved for next year's grows. I had 0 waste so far. And that's pretty cool. 0 waste. Oh, and on the 0 waste topic, the peppers that, some of these don't look prime, alright? What I mean is, like, here's a green one. Obviously, that's immature. We're not going to be eating that. But what we are going to be doing is we make all of our bug spray, all of our insecticides, pesticides, anything for bugs or anything to prevent infestation of any kind, really. I do it naturally, or as natural as I possibly can. Meaning I don't use any chemicals. Yeah, the peppers, they get dried out, even the ones that are shitty, converted into a powder. That powder goes into a vat with just a wee bit of dish detergent and olive oil, and it gets lavender and dried catnip added to it, along with pepper powder, a dried pepper powder that's made from jalapenos, Carolina Reapers, and chili peppers. And that ages for about 6 months, shaking it all the time, completely, continuously shaking it. Then comes summer, when I need some bug spray for any of my gardening endeavors. I'll take that, and I'll take about a teaspoon, and a teaspoon added to about 3 gallons of water is a pretty good mix. And at that ratio, all of my plants get sprayed. They get drenched about twice a week, all of the outdoor plants. And what I've found is that as far as flying things that fly, that's about all I need. And it is one of the most effective pest deterrents I've come up with. My pile. Make me a pile inside. Shit. Look at this big old lap full of peppers. Ain't that some weird looking stuff right there, y'all? Big old lap full of peppers. Ain't that great? Oh! Don't move on me! I hear peppers dropping all over the place. So what's everybody's plans for Turkey Day? Hopefully not traveling. And if you are unfortunately stuck in a position where you gotta travel, please do be careful. Please do not drink and drive. And mainly, it's the fucking other idiots on the fucking road you gotta worry about. Oh. I gotta get up early in the morning, and I guess I'm gonna go. One of my few friends came over this evening, and his father passed away the day before yesterday. Not only was the friend a good buddy, but his dad was really a cool dude. Lost another good old timer this week, and you know, it's good and bad in a way, you know. I mean, he's hopefully went, at least momentarily, went somewhere a little bit better than here, and so for that reason, you know, cool, good deal. However, you know, our old timers, the generations that are on their way out, they've got a lot of knowledge, and unfortunately, my generation and the generation, these younger folk, they've not really learnt shit. They're hard-headed, and anytime these old people are passing away, man, they're taking a lot of that knowledge with them because they didn't have an opportunity to pass it on, because all the younger folk are just fucking hard-headed and don't want to learn nothing. And so for that reason, it kind of sucks. But I told him I'd go and give me a Bill Paul Burr, or say a few words, whatever, or just be there for support. He was a good dude. Least I can do. That one looked just kind of too awful. I wasn't putting that in there. Ooh, peppers everywhere. Man, that's a lot of peppers. Prolific, folks. A prolific producer. You will be growing again in less than a week. What, you ain't got no beans popped right now, Scarecrow? Did you just do a harvest and you don't have a backup, no contingency plan? The auto challenge listings. Cheers, friend. Yes, in the solo cup. I want to hit the 2-ounce dry from the solo cup. Others have done it. Many will try. Few will succeed. And if you get all fucking fancy and you spent fucking a bunch of money on some fucking soil and a bunch of money on fucking fancy fucking shit, it just takes all the fun out of it. It takes all the fun out of it. That's one of the reasons I got into autos a bit initially, was because it's fucking, you can fuck up. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, anybody can fuck up, especially some of the idiots we got in the world nowadays. But for the most part, you could put that motherfucker in anything, put it in a fucking windowsill, and you wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be no fucking damn monumental harvest or nothing, but you got something. Like, give it 24 hours a day. Give it 4 hours a day. No matter what you did, you got something. It was cool. And so when I've done the doing it in the solo cup, the last 2 times I've only done it twice, but in the solo cup, it was it's a lot of fun. Now think about this. Here's the thing, and a lot of people won't look. What happens when, you know, some of you people that have grown a lot, right? What happens when a plant gets significantly root bound, right? Now, how do you prevent it from getting root bound? You're in a solo cup. You don't get to change your pot size, right? You're going from start to finish in the solo cup. Why is it a solo cup challenge? Well, you got to finish the motherfucker in the solo cup. You couldn't do it with a photo period. However, the autoflower, it's got a predeterminate life cycle. However, if you don't pay attention to what the fuck you're doing, you won't make it. You won't even finish the challenge. You'll fucking fuck up. The way you not fuck up, or the way I did it, was I'd let it dry out. I'd water it, and I mean, I'd put it in a fucking pan and put my solo cup down into a bucket, and I'd fill the bucket full of water, and I'd weight the solo cup down, and I'd let that motherfucker sit there for, I don't know, 2 hours. I'd take it out, stick it on something where it could drain, and I won't water it again until that motherfucking plant looks like it's about dead. I mean, it's fucking dry that there's nothing. And now I water it again. That wasn't optimal, but it was optimal considering the conditions that I was going for. If you know that you're looking at taking 75, 80 days to finish this plant, and you've grown from start to finish in a solo cup, folks. Well, how long's your taproot? The motherfucking taproot's this long, so you done lost. The minute that plant pops up out of the ground, hell, you done lost 2 inches. I mean, it's fun. I'm not discouraging, folks. It's fun. You gotta do it. I want to get me some Mephisto Genetics white crack seeds, and I don't know. I've had my heart set on putting them in a solo cup, but any auto at work. I just wanted to do those. I think it'd be a good candidate. And my 5 viewers, thank you for being here with me. Be sure to check out my twin brother's channel. I'm gonna see if I can pop my twin brother's channel in the chat room, or maybe I can get them to make an appearance. I don't know. It's possible. Like, weirder things have happened. Let's see. That. I don't know what happened to my music. I gotta fix that too. And I don't know why that overhead light keeps going on and off. That's what it pissed me off, that. Oh, did you hear that feedback all of a sudden, folks? Let's see. What are we doing right here? Yeah, let's see. Come on now. Just cooperate. I know you're old and decrepit, but... Well, look at there. Volunteer Agriculture, aka True Patriot, is in the chat, folks. In the chat. For any of your illegal activities or acts of domestic terrorism that you may require knowledge on, feel free to follow that person that just popped in the chat. Anything that could be said or construed or seen or visualized or perceived off of this channel is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions, facts, or otherwise expressed are not necessarily an indication of the feelings or perceptions held by the channel owner, admins. In other words, because you've seen, heard, saw, or thought you saw something with regards to anything on this channel, it does not necessarily mean anything outside of entertainment purposes only. If you find it useful, if you find it helpful, if it resonates with you, great, excellent. If it doesn't, who gives a fuck? It doesn't mean anything anyway. And I don't say that for the benefit of a lot of you. I say that for the benefit of a few. And those few should hopefully know I'm speaking to them. Now, where'd our music go, folks? I have to get another couple plants right quick. So far, though, we're here. I'll move this down and see what we got so far. Keeping in mind, this is like a 12-gallon tote or planter, right? And this is off of 2 plants. That's quite a bit, folks. That's off of 2. I've got, I don't know, what have I got? 10? Something more to do? 11? I don't know, something like that. Stay where I put you. It does what it's told. Y'all remember that movie, huh? Well, you just ain't cooperating, you ass. Light this cigarette. Put this music back on. I gotta run right out here to this other barn and grab 2 plants right quick, folks. I will be back in probably 37 seconds. I heard that in fall. And we are back, folks. Did y'all see what I did there, though? I grabbed some different ones this time. These are, they are actually a Thai chili and a regular cayenne chili that I crossed myself. This is the second year that I'm growing these out, and let me pull these off here. Get a good one so you see these things. Look at that, folks. So it's all about right here. You see a size that? Keeping in mind I'm 6'6", 3/4 inches tall. I'm almost 6'7". You can imagine I've got big hands. Look at the size of one of these. 100% True Living Organics, folks. True Living Organics, it's you could think of it like a super soil, but not necessarily a one-time use thing. I am into permaculture, but I use Korean natural methods, KNF, and I grow in Hugelkultur styled raised beds. And all I can say is that the longer you do it, the longer you keep utilizing your same medium, your same grow, it evolves, kind of much like we do. And once you get to the, I'll say, 3 to 5 year mark on your soil, anyway, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Where'd Jack go? I gotta get to cutting these chilies off here. Voted for legal? Oh, it will never be legal here, unfortunately. Not even for medical purposes. But who considers doing what is legal over doing what is lawful or righteous? I would much rather do the right thing and it be legal than do what is legal and it be the wrong thing. I know the difference between right and wrong. I also know the difference between legal and illegal. And there's quite a bit wrong that is legal. I don't want to do wrong. I want to do right. And if that means that sometimes I'm going to do what is not construed as technically legal, hey, you know, I got to live with that. It is what it is. I'm going to do the right thing at the end of the day, regardless. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what's right. I don't give a fuck. Legal, illegal. I'm going to do what is right. Oh, boy, yeah. Chilies. A lot of these, too, I will be saving for seed. So if something to think about, folks, keep me in mind. I do keep seed stock for every plant that we grow here on the farm. And we grow a lot, so. Come on, dude. Light. I don't want to stand up. Alright, there you go. Hey, wait a minute. It's Saturday night. Where's my beer? Fuck. new beer. Sucks. Alright. Man, that's a fucking big one there too. Look at this shit. Hell yeah. This is some big things right here. I don't know. I'm thinking, what the hell? I gotta do some different hot peppers for next year. I did the chilies for 3 years in a row, and I got a plethora. I've done giveaways so many. I've utilized so many. I'm just over the chilies, and I don't think I'll do the Carolina Reapers again next year either. When you're thinking about what seeds you're going to save, when you're thinking about your following year crops. It's just like if we were growing any plant. You've got to try to reiterate the particular attributes with regards to each different pheno that you want to see, you know? If there's something that you want to see more of, you need to re-encourage that over and over. So, when you're looking at your fruit, whatever your fruit is, whether your fruit is fruit, whether it's a flower, whether it's a vegetable, whatever, your fruit, the byproduct, the product of your plant. Re-encourage what you're looking for. I'll tell you what. I'll give you an example right here. There's number one. Alright? This is one plant. Same kind of plant, different pheno. Different type. Same plant. Same different plant, same kind of plant. Now you can imagine which ones I'll be keeping seeds from. Yeah. And the more times you do that, you're strengthening those genetics each time you do it. And it don't matter what kind of plant we're talking about. I mean, it really doesn't. The stuff I'm trying to tell you on this little topic of discussion at the moment is applicable to plants in general, as well as mycology. Ghost or habaneros. I did do the habaneros. I didn't have good result when I did the habaneros. I probably need to revisit that. Then there was what was the scorpion? Scorpion something. Oh man, it came up in some research I've been doing lately. Scorpion something. I don't know off the top of my head. I've been digging the hot peppers, and I've just a lot of salsa. What is them poblanos? They're not hot, but I want to grow some of those next year. Just for man, make some awesome salsa. Let's change something, put something else in the background. Oh, this will probably get me in trouble. Am I allowed to play this? Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm going to play it anyway. Move that back.
Christians or Jews or claim to follow some other religion, but the truth is what you call your religion is empty window dressing. What you truly worship, the God you really bow to, what you really believe in is the state. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not murder, unless you can do it by way of government. Then it's just fine, isn't it? If you call it taxation and war, it stops being a sin, right? After all, it was only your God that said you shouldn't steal and murder, but the state said it was okay. It's pretty obvious which one outranks the other in your minds. Despite all the churches, synagogues, and mosques we see around us, this nation has one God, and only one God, and that God is called government. Jesus taught nonviolence and told you to love your neighbor, but the state encourages you to vote for people who will use the violence of government to butt into every aspect of everyone else's life. Which do you believe? To those about to stone a woman who had committed adultery, Jesus said, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." But the state says it's perfectly fine to lock someone up if they do distasteful, such as prostitution. Which do you believe? The Christian God says, "Thou shalt not covet," but coveting is the lifeblood of the beast that is the state. You are taught to resent, despise, and hate anyone who has anything you don't have. You clamor for the state to tear other people down, steal their property, and give it to you. And you call that fairness. The Bible calls it coveting and stealing. You are not Christians. You are not Jews. You are not Muslims. And you certainly aren't atheists. You all have the same God, and its name is government. You're all members of the most evil, insane, destructive cult in history. If there ever was a devil, the state is it, and you worship it with all your heart and soul. You pray to it to solve every problem, to satisfy all your needs, to smite your enemies, and to shower its blessings upon you. You worship what Nietzsche called the coldest of all cold monsters, and you hate those of us who don't. To you, the greatest sin is disobeying your God, breaking the law, you call it, as if anyone could possibly have any moral obligation to obey the arbitrary commands and demands of the corrupt, lying, delusional megalomaniacs who infest this despicable town. Even your ministers, priests, and rabbis, more often than not, are traitors to their own religions, teaching that the commands of human authority should supersede adherence to the laws of the gods they say they believe in. Several years ago, I heard one pompous evangelical jackass in particular pontificating on the radio that anyone who disobeys the civil authority, be it a king or any other government, is engaging in rebellion against God. Those were the exact words he used. What if the government is doing something wrong? Well, this salesman for Satan opined, that is the business of those in government, and you are still obligated to obey. Everywhere you turn, be it the state or the church, the media or the schools, you are taught one thing above all else, the virtue of subjugating yourselves to mortals who claim to have the right to rule you. It is sickening the reverence with which you speak of the liars and thieves whose feet are so firmly planted on your necks. You call the congressmen and the judges honorable, and you swoon at the magnificence of the grandiose halls they inhabit, the temples they built to celebrate the domination of mankind. You feel pride in being able to say you once shook a senator's hand or saw the president in person. Ah yes, the grand deity himself, His Royal Highness, the President of the United States of America. You speak the title as if you're referring to God Almighty. The vocabulary has changed a bit, but your mindset is no different from that of the groveling peasants of old, who bowed low, faces in the dirt, with a feeling of unworthiness and humility, when in the presence of whatever narcissist had declared himself to be their rightful lord and master. The truth of the matter, back then and today, is that these parasites who call themselves leaders are not superior beings. They are not great men and women. They are not honorable. They're not even average. The people who earn an honest living, from sophisticated millionaire entrepreneurs to illiterate day laborers doing the most menial tasks you can imagine, those people deserve your respect. Those people you should treat with courtesy and civility. But the frauds who claim the right to rule you and demand your subservience and obedience, they deserve only your scorn and contempt. Those who seek so-called high office are the lowest of the low. They may dress better, have larger vocabularies, and do a better job of planning out and executing their schemes, but they are no better than pickpockets, muggers, and carjackers. In fact, they are worse, because they don't want to rob you of just your possessions. They want to rob you of your very humanity, deprive you of your free will, by slowly leeching away your ability to think, to judge, to act, reducing you to slaves of both body and mind. And still you persist in calling them leaders. Leaders? Where is it that you think you're going exactly that would require you to have a leader? If you just live your own life and mind your own damn business, exercising your own talents, pursuing your own dreams, striving to be what you believe you should be, what possible use would you have for a leader? Do you ever actually think about the words that you hear, the words that you repeat? You parrot oxymoronic terms such as the leader of the free world, even pretending for a moment that there is some huge journey or some giant battle that everyone in the entire nation is undertaking together that would require a leader. Why would you ever think, even for a moment, that the crooks that infest this town are the sort of people you should listen to or emulate or follow anywhere? Somewhere inside your mostly dormant brains, you know full well that politicians are all corrupt liars and thieves, opportunistic con men, exploiters, and fearmongers. You know all this, and yet you still speak as if you are the ones who are the stupid, vicious animals, while the politicians are the great, wise role models, teachers, and leaders without whom civilization could not exist. You think these crooks are the ones who make civilization possible? What belief could be more absurd? Yet when they do their pseudo-religious rituals, deciding how to control you this week, you still call it law, and continue to treat their arbitrary demands as if they were moral decrees from the gods that no decent person would ever consider disobeying. You have become so thoroughly indoctrinated into the cult of state worship that you are truly shocked when the occasional sane person states the bleeding obvious. The mere fact that the political crooks wrote something down and declared their threats to be law does not mean that any human being anywhere has the slightest moral obligation to obey. Every moment of every day, in every location and every situation, you have a moral obligation to do what you deem to be right, not what some delusional bloated windbag says is legal. And that requires you to first determine right and wrong for yourself, a responsibility you spend much time and effort trying to dodge. You proclaim how proud you are to be law-abiding citizens and express your utter contempt for anyone who considers himself above your so-called laws. Laws that are nothing more than the selfish whims of tyrants and thieves. The word crime once meant an act harmful to another person. Now it means disobedience to any one of the myriad of arbitrary commands coming from a parasitical criminal class. To you, the term crime is nearly synonymous with the word sin, implying that the ones whose commands are being disobeyed must be something akin to gods. But in truth, they are more akin to leeches. The very phrase, taking the law into your own hands, perfectly expresses what a sacrilege it is in your eyes for a mere human being to take upon himself.
Yeah, I like okra. I didn't do any okra this year. I had a friend that did way more than he should have, and I looked forward to him bringing me a bunch. He gave me a little bit, but I didn't have much okra this year. Here's break, smoke me a cigarette. Man, that's a bunch. I've still got, oh man, I don't even know how many plants I still got out there hanging.
When the state uses violence, you imagine it to be inherently righteous and just. And if anyone resists, they are, in your eyes, lowlifes, lawless terrorist criminals. Like the lawless terrorist criminals who help
where's the lighter?
The plantations.
Oh, that ain't good. Oh, it's in my pocket.
Like the lawless terrorist criminals who helped Jews escape the killing machine of the Third Reich. Like the lawless terrorist criminals who were crushed to death under the tanks of the Red Chinese government in Tiananmen Square. Like all the lawless terrorist criminals in history who had the courage to disobey the never-ending stream of tyrants and oppressors who have called their violence authority and law. And that includes the lawless terrorist criminals who founded this country. Everything you think you know is upside down, backwards, and inside out. But what has to take the cake, the height of your insanity, is the fact that you view as violent terrorists the only people on the planet who oppose the initiation of violence against their fellow men. Anarchists, voluntarists, and libertarians. We use violence only to defend our ourselves against someone who initiates violence against us. We use it for nothing else. Meanwhile, your belief system is completely schizophrenic and self-contradictory. On the one hand, you teach the young slaves that violence is never the answer. Yet out of the other side of your mouths, you advocate that everyone and everything, everywhere and at all times be controlled, monitored, taxed, and regulated through the force of government. In short, you are teaching your children that the masters may use violence whenever they please, but the slave should never resist. You indoctrinate your children into a life of unthinking, helpless subservience. You are putting the chains around their little necks and fastening the locks tight. And worst of all, you feel good about it. Out of one side of your mouths, you condemn the evils of fascism and socialism and lament the injustices of the regimes of Hitler, Stalin, and Mao. While out of the other side of your mouths, you preach exactly what they did. The worship of the collective. The subjugation of every individual to that evil insanity that wears the deceptive label, the common good. You babble on and on about diversity and open-mindedness, and then beg your masters to regulate and control every aspect of everyone's lives, creating a giant herd of unthinking conformist drones. You wear different clothes and have different hairstyles, and you think that makes you different. Yet all your minds are enslaved to the same club of masters and controllers. You think what they tell you to think, and do what they tell you to do, while imagining yourselves to be progressive, thinking, and enlightened.
Alright. I gotta get another plant. Keep it going, keep it going. Gotta get another plant.
While turning a blind eye to the injustices happening right in front of you. You tell yourself that
peppers flying everywhere.
Other places in those other times, you would have been among those who stood up against oppression and defended the downtrodden. But that is a lie. You would have been right there with the rest of the flock of well-trained sheep, loudly demanding that the slaves be beaten, that the witches be burned, that the nonconformists and rebels be destroyed. How do I know this? Because that is exactly what you are doing today. Today's injustices and oppressions are fashionable and popular, and those who resist them, you tell yourselves, are just malcontents and freaks, people whose rights don't matter, people who deserve to be crushed under the boot of authority. Isn't that right? You bunch of spineless, unthinking hypocrites. Look in the mirror. Take a good look at what you imagine to be righteous and kind. You are the devil's plaything. The crowds of thousands wildly applauding the speeches of Adolf Hitler, that was you. The mob demanding that Jesus Christ be nailed to the cross, that was you. The white invaders who celebrated the wholesale slaughter of those godless redskins,
come on.
You.
Fucking
The throngs filling the Colosseum, applauding as the Christians were fed to the lions, that was you. Throughout history, the perpetual suffering and injustice occurring on an incomprehensible scale, it was all because of people just like you. The well-trained, thoroughly indoctrinated conformists.
And we're back.
Do as they're told,
What?
who bow to their masters, who follow the
Man,
crowd, believing whatever
I'm gonna be drying out peppers for days, folks.
That is you. And your ignorance is not because the truth is not available to you. There have been radicals preaching it for thousands of years. No, you are ignorant because you shun the truth with all your heart and soul. You close your eyes and run away when a hint of reality lands in front of you. You condemn as extremists and fringe kooks those who try to show you the chains you wear because you don't want to be free. You don't even want to be human. Responsibility and reality scare the hell out of you, so you cling tightly to your own enslavement and lash out at any who seek to free you from it. When someone opens the door to your cage, you cower back in the corner and yell, "Close it, close it." Well, some of us are finished with trying to save you. We've wasted enough effort trying to convince you that you should be free. All you ever do is spout back what your masters have taught you, that being free only leads to chaos and destruction. while being obedient and subservient leads to peace and prosperity. There are none so blind as those who will not see. And you nation of sheep, would rather die than see the truth.
Well. I don't know. Listeners, I really don't know. I do know that, okay, hottest pepper in the world, so-called. I've made a lot of chili powder so far. That's one use I've had. I have dried a bunch that thus far all I did was dehydrate them and put them in bags, left them whole. I've used a bunch for seed. I've made a lot of bug spray out of a bunch. There is a barbecue sauce that I'm wanting to try. We make pineapple preserves here, or pineapple jam. I make it every year, and the recipe that I seen was a sweet and spicy barbecue sauce that incorporated pineapples. Well, I've got a lot of the jars of pineapple jam from last year left, so I figured that I would instead substitute the pineapple, because it called for crushed pineapple in the recipe. But I figured that instead I would use some of my pineapple jam, and I'm going to use some. The only problem, here's where it gets funny. For 5 gallons of this barbecue sauce, it requires 4 peppers. 4. I don't know. I've given some away. None of them will go to waste, but I would love some creative input. Finding ways to utilize them, that's been an issue. I'm real good with Google. I've been all over the net searching for different ways, different recipes. Somebody had even suggested a jelly, making like a pepper jelly. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can eat hot stuff. I love hot foods. These are a little too hot for me. But so using them has been an issue. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was going to put this on here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's try this one here.
Grams of psilocybin mushrooms
kidded with you earlier that they would make sex illegal if they could. Well, they can't, so it isn't. But the psychedelic experience is as central to understanding your humanness as having sex, or having a child, or having responsibilities, or having hopes and dreams, and yet it is illegal. We are somehow told we are infantilized. We're told, you can wander around within the sanctioned playpen of ordinary consciousness, and we have some intoxicants over here if you want to mess yourself up. We've got some scotch here and some tobacco and red meat and some sugar and a little TV and so forth and so on. But these boundary dissolving hallucinogens that give you a sense of unity with your fellow man and nature are somehow forbidden. This is an outrage. It's a sign of cultural immaturity, and the fact that we tolerate it is a sign that we are living in a society as oppressed as any society in the past. My thing is not about my opinion or what I saw in Africa or anything like that. This is, get it straight, this is about an experience, not my experience, your experience. It's about an experience which you have, like getting laid or like going to Africa. You must do the experience. Otherwise, it's just whistling past the graveyard. And we're not talking about something like being born again or meeting the flying saucers or something like that, where good works and prayer are the method. No, if you take a sufficient dose of an active compound, it will deliver itself to you on the money. If it doesn't work, take more. Nobody is in a position to dismiss this just because it didn't work for them on one or two tries. This is an art. It's an art. It's something you coax into existence. I mean, you have to learn to make love. You have to learn to speak English. Anything worth doing is an art that is acquired. This is part of our birthright. Perhaps the most important part of our birthright. These substances will deliver. It is the confoundment of psychology and science generally, and that's why it's so touchy for cultural institutions. But you are not a cultural institution. You are a free and independent human being.
Go back to your childhood. What were the fascinating things? What's out there? What's beyond the stars? How long does it go on? And Mama said, it goes on always and always and always. Child wonders. It's exciting. That there's something that never ends. Then the child asks about time. How long ago is long ago? Well, the Bible says that in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Well, what did God do before he did that? Well, as one person said, he sat up thinking punishments in hell for people who ask silly questions. But still, that is only a joke. And the child thinks of God going back. Never been. So in the same way you think about death. Go to sleep, never wake up. Never. Why, it would be as if you never had existed. Not only you, but everything else. Which is, of course, the way things were before you were born. I mean, just turn it backwards. How about waking up after having never gone to sleep? That's quite a thought. There's something fishy about it. So we get a funny feeling when we think those questions really true. Very funny feeling. And children, you see, love to get into that funny feeling. Children do all kinds of weird things. They like to spin around as fast as possible, so they watch suddenly the whole ground is tilting. And they make faces and test out their bodies in all sorts of funny ways. Because they know from the beginning that the world is weird. Strange thing. Because everybody knows what it's all about, only they won't admit it. Being brought up is being taught not to admit it. But you know very well what's going on. But in order to find out once more as an adult, you have to become again as a child. See, we are in heaven now, because the earth is a space, and heaven is space. What is called in Chinese, gu, Japanese gu, the void. That's what is important. Do you know you are much more space than you are anything else? If the ponderable, I won't say matter, the ponderable whatever in your bodies were condensed.
Yes, they'll last more than just next year listings. They'll last, I forgot, peppers dried from 7, 8, 9 years ago that are still viable, still good for seeds, still good for consumption.
We are airy enough. Space, which nobody can define, nobody can imagine, appears to be nothing. It's the foundation of the universe.
Let's see. However, though, I have made quite a bit of mess, which is, you know, it's kind of... I had just spent, I don't know, several hours today cleaning the fucking barn out. Big pile of shit here. Oh, man. Everything is just... Oh, oh yeah, it's... Hey, but like everything else, it's a labor of love, folks. I mean, it's a labor of love. I mean, do you know how many people worldwide have to depend on a grocery store for their food? Have to depend on money for their food, have to depend on someone else for their food, have to depend on availability for their food, have to depend on all of these different variables which typically they have no control over. Think about me what you will, but most of my foods I'm able to produce myself, for myself, by myself, and what's that saying? Necessity is the mother of all invention. Yeah, poor white trash. I want some fresh organic produce. How do I get it? My point, I can't buy it. So what are my options? Do I just, do I do without it? Yeah, I guess that'd be one way I could approach it. But I don't want to do without it. I want good, healthy, high quality food for myself and my family, my community, those around me, my world. I want to have the benefit of 100% natural, organic foods. Come on, you. So, real simple. I can grow my own and have it, or I can do without it. That's what I'm faced with, and that's what I do. And along the way, I've learned a lot, and it's been fun, for lack of a better way to express it. It opened up a whole new world for me. The chickens, all the animals. It's just been, the food. The food was the largest motivator initially. Then it went from food to food and medicinal, and then it went from, well, if I produce my own soil, then that would be less soil that I needed to acquire. So what would it take to, and each path led me to another exciting adventure. How'd that mic move? That's weird. Anyway, I'm not even going to think about that. Cheers, folks. Again, local grower organics, dude. This bowl, man. I love you, man. This is I have dropped this thing on this concrete floor 100 times. I have been so drunk that I was holding it in my hand, holding a beer in this hand, passed out, hit the floor, woke up, hand all scraped up, so it was obvious I hit the floor. And I'm still holding the bowl, and it didn't break. Dude doesn't give me an indestructible tobacco smoking pipe. That's got a lovely taste. It's so sad that I've got tough, man. That's sad. I hate it whenever a jar, or whenever some of it gets to when you're about out of it, because you know there's a whole for me it's real emotional. When I chop a plant, it's emotional. Whenever I get to the end of what gifts that plant bestowed upon me, it's emotional again, because it's like it's a chapter of a book that's closed. And I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of sentimental that way. It's just, I don't know. It's a respect thing, you know. You love that plant. You nurture that plant. You feed that plant. You spend time with that plant. You take care of that plant. I don't know of a way of doing all them things and not getting emotionally involved. I don't know how to separate myself from the life that I've been a part of. Animals, for me, it's the same way with the animals as well. You know, they get to be a part of my life. And then when they're gone, it's like, oh, shit, fuck. Part of me's missing. Yeah, you know, you're always going to grow another plant. You're always going to have another animal, but every single one of them, it's been a labor of love. It really has. But don't get it twisted, folks. It is most definitely labor. Yes, you'll reap some benefit. No, I don't sell anything, ever. But I'm lying. Well, no, actually I'm not lying. I do furnish genetics if people are interested or seek to be self-sufficient. But I give the genetics away, with the exception of some specialty genetics, fruit, vegetable, and or otherwise. And when I've got a surplus, I do give them away, but I do not pay for shipping and handling. Yes! D-Live. Jinx is here. I'm in the barn. I am back in the barn. I'm cold. 43. Yeah, I'm cold. But yes, I'm back in the barn as well. What's going on here? What the hell? Why is that button? These 3 PCs are all buffering. And I'm smoking the last little bit of the stuff that I should have ran. I should have dry sifted it, turned it into some dry sift hash. The little scraggly, worthless, not worthless, it's all got value, but the little scraggly, little tiny, fucking not even, I wouldn't even call them popcorn buds from the Panama Ninja from outside. I lost that verification code password thingy. I gotta set another. What the fuck was that? I don't even know for that. What's this called? What was I doing? We don't have no music playing. Where'd the music go? Oh, brain fart. Shit. Yeah, folks. I'm not feeling any pain. No pain. That is a good thing. You're streaming me on your stream. Is that good or bad? This is my brother's stream. I mean, I'm my brother. I mean, anyway, I don't know what I mean, but there's someone in a barn streaming that is in some way, shape, form, or fashion affiliated with CC2 Arms, also known as True Patriot, on behalf of Volunteer Agriculture, True Living Organic Farms. So there is a connection there. Whether that connection is I, myself, or I don't know. Come here and look. Okay, well, let's see here. Okay, let's move another cam. Okay, you said okay. We'll move a cam over to here. We'll see. What? Oh, we got it. There we go. Oh, we got to make it a little bit better. Now, folks. D-Link, guys, in chat. Where is she sending us? Okay. Brought this down over here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's see. Take the mouse. Open up that tab there. What the you bastard. Not you. Where my music went to, that is troubling. Oh man, I got them fucking peppers everywhere. I still got probably 1 or 2 more plants that I need to. Well, let's just load this up first. Oh my God, she is streaming me, folks. Well, thank you, D-Live. Jinxie. I gotta say, this stream here on this page, I have got to. I don't know what's going on here. Bear with me, folks, for just a moment. I'm just trying to get these, and I don't know why that wants to keep shutting off. It's being difficult. Oh, I would have to hit play down here on her. Alright, so that's probably going to cause some feedback. But let's just see. It might be entertaining for scientific studies. Let's see if I can.
Sometimes can piss people off, but that's okay.
Can you hear me?
Organics, helps people learn how to grow. Taught me a lot.
That is troubling.
There's a, what, a 45-second lag now? Oh, I better pause me. Between the 3 monitors I'm looking at, and now looking at her restreaming me on one of them. Wow, it's cool. It's like it's weird because I'm talking and moving, and there's like a train, and there's like, imagine this train, and there being a car pass, and then 15-20 seconds later another car pass, except the time between them was exponential. So let's say the first car passed, and then 15 seconds later another car passed. Then 30 seconds later an additional car passed. Then 60 seconds later an additional car passed. That's what the 3 monitors I'm looking at are done. I don't know, it's wild. And what is confusing about this, only one of them is wireless. The other 2 are running off of fucking Ethernet. So I'm not knowing. I don't know. I'm thinking it might be my cable. Because back in the summer, when I lost my ability to stream out here in the barn, got drunk, spilled an entire beer on the one laptop. My line that carried the from the modem in the house out here ran across the driveway, and anyway, I ended up running over it with the mower, and I got it cut in half. Anyway, we're not going to stress over it, folks. I got to run outside. I'll be back in 43 seconds. I'm going to grab another plant, another big old pepper plant.
The earth is not a big rock infested with living organisms any more than your skeleton is bones infested with cells. The earth is geological, yes, but this geological entity grows people. We haven't realized that life and death, black and white, good and evil, being and non-being, come from the same center. They imply each other. We have tried scientifically to understand the world and explain its mysteries by analyzing the smallest particles of things that exist. Inquiring down. What is this thing we call flesh or call steel or stone? What is it made of?
Oh man, this.
Go down into the mixed stuff. And that gives us a certain understanding.
Ah, damn, pepper's falling everywhere. I mean, who has an 8-foot tall fucking pepper plant?
Is not what is the tiniest part,
8 foot tall. That's
but
crazy.
in what context is the tiniest part. You see? In relation to what is it? Cells, molecules, atoms have different properties in different contexts. So do you see that a lot of people who get anxious when they hear that everything is relative other. It's this thing. So, if you see that, if you get that principle, you can feel yourself not sort of just rattling around in the world as a kind of, you know, somebody who's been stuck down there. But you can feel yourself going on in absolutely exact relationship with everything around you. And this is very beautiful. It isn't just that you are here looking at what's out there, like you might be photographing it with your eyes. It's that if that there wasn't there, you wouldn't be here. The outside thing that you see and the inside thing that you are poles of the same magnet, or back and front of the same coin, and without one there isn't the other. That means, of course, that we are living in the midst of a world of animals, vegetables, minerals, atmospheres, astronomical bodies. It's highly intelligent. Its intelligence concentrated, crystallized in our brains. That's where it comes out, you see. In any field, let's say, let's take any field of forces. We take a chemical solution, and at certain critical points in this chemical solution, the crystals start to form. And so in the same way, the total intelligence of this whole universe crystallizes in brains. If your father hadn't met your mother, would you be here? Now, of course, somebody would be here, because he might have met somebody else. Would that be you? Of course it would. Don't you see? You can only be you by being someone. But every someone is you. Every someone is I. That's your name, you say. It's me. I am here. And everybody feels that I in the same way.
Oh, what happened there? Okay. Oh, man, yes, it's the Carolina Reapers, and, well, let's see what our bucket looks like this time now. That'll be good, but anyway, right now, this is the, what is this, a 12-gallon bucket here, folks? 12-gallon container, and in that 12-gallon container, we are about, we're more than we're about halfway, I guess. So, halfway means we've got about, well, we've probably got 5 gallons of peppers. Well, there are, and that was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the Carolina Reaper plants, and 2 were the chili pepper crosses of my cross, which was a green Thai chili and a cayenne chili crossed originally. Oh man, smoke a cigarette. Oh, and I got a dehydrator full now, which is probably going to be done by the time I get back in the house, thankfully. I'm going to be dehydrating peppers for days. It's a labor of love, so I'm not really bitching. It's just, it's going to be interesting. I wish I had a fork out here. Do I even have a pocket knife out here? Hopefully, I got. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Cause I'm gonna crack these open. I need a snack. Let's see, what can I have for a snack? Oh yeah. Okay. I do have to eat me a snack right quick. What do we got here? Oh. Bread and butter pickles. Oh yes. And this particular bread and butter pickles, because we made several sweet pickle, several varieties of sweet pickles, several varieties of just regular dill pickles. But I haven't had these yet. Curious. I do have me a spoon. It is nice and clean. I know. I just wiped it off on my shirt. So, and I'm going to pop these open. Mmm. Oh, wow. I bet these are just going to be fucking lovely. Yes. Absolutely fucking lovely. And I know that's probably a derogatory way of putting it, but they're fucking excellent, truly. When did we put them up? 7/22. I'm curious to see how these recipes. The reason we experimented a little this year, we did several different recipes with all of the pickled items, and the reason that we wanted to do several different recipes was, here's my problem with pickles, or as far as pickling cucumbers as a way of preservation. They taste good, but sometimes there's an issue with a couple years after you've pickled them getting soft. Some recipes have a better shelf life than others. I've been on a quest to find a recipe for homemade good dill pickles, good sweet pickles, that I can open up a jar 2 years after I've pickled it, and they're just as crunchy, just as fresh as when I initially did it. I've had a limited amount of success with finding such a recipe. Some recipes are better than others I've tried, but I'm still on that hunt for the perfect recipe. These are excellent though. Compared to what you could buy if you went into a store, that shit's inferior. I mean, and I'm not bragging on myself. It ain't got nothing to do with me. That shit is inferior. And it's overpriced. Oh man. Sitting out here in some 40-degree weather, eating some homemade bread and butter pickles and fucking filling up a bucket with hot peppers. If that ain't country, I'll kiss your ass. Not to be confused with any copyrighted or trademarked material such as music or songs. I'm just saying that because this is about as country as you get. And I don't know if it's the munchies. I don't know what the explanation is, but as cold as my fucking hands are, as cold as these pickles are, as cold as my body is, they're still going down really good.
Now, I'm sure that most of you know the old story about the astronaut who went far out into space and was asked on his return whether he had been to heaven and seen God. And he said yes. And so they said to him, well, what about God? And he said, she is black. And although this is a very well-known and well-worn story, it is very profound. Because, I tell you, I knew a monk who started out in life as pretty much of an agnostic or an atheist. And then he began to read Henri Bergson, the French philosopher who proclaimed the vital force, the élan vital, and so on. And the more he read into this kind of philosophy, the more he saw that these people were really talking about God. And I read a great deal of theological reasoning about the existence of God. And they all start out on this line. If you are intelligent and reasonable, you cannot be the product of a mechanical and meaningless universe. Figs do not grow on thistles. Grapes do not grow on thorns. And therefore, you, as an expression of the universe, as an aperture through which the universe is observing itself.
Your computer crashed because you didn't turn on the fan. Oh, I better pause this Alan Watts and say something about that. Well, you mean you forgot to turn on the fan? Did you ever get... Last I talked to you, I seem to recall you were waiting on a video card or something. Or had somebody was giving you one, or would you get a different computer, or did you ever end up just getting a video card? Man. Oh, man. But in my infinite wisdom, I don't even know if I can, maybe I can dig a piece out. For theatrical effect, I can't even, I'm going to show you this because I need to explain this a little bit too. For theatrical, for aesthetically pleasing effect, can you see them little fine red, I mean just tiny, not even much of nothing? I thought it would be pretty if I took a chili pepper, one pepper, and took and cut it real super tiny. And I thought if I added them rings from that one little pepper, and just took a few in each jar before they were canned, that it would add to the presentation a little bit. You know, it would look a little better. I didn't think it would be enough to flavor it. I didn't think you would taste it. I've sat here and about eat this jar of pickles, and I have to say, once you get about halfway through, it did put some heat. It did throw some heat to these sweet pickles. It really did. Not enough to where it made them hot. They're not hot. So I'm not saying they're spicy, but you can definitely there's a kick in the back end of them. You eat a few of them and you're like, man, that's good, but that's got some bite, don't it? Where'd my lid go? Fuck. I just had that son of a bitch. Where is the lid? Damn it. On my lap. I'm glad that wasn't a snake. I'm sitting here stoned eating pickles and smoking cigarettes. Where's my peppers at? Oh, fuck. I'm going to smoke another bowl first. I'll probably smoke a bowl. Listen to Alan Watts for a little bit more, and then I'll probably end up having to go in the house. I will have to take a bath tonight. Get everything all situated. Man, it's gonna suck. My buddy's father died yesterday, and I guess I'm gonna go be with my buddy for the day. We're doing he's got friends and family and whatnot from like 1 to 3, and then I guess at 4 they're gonna put him in the ground or whatever. And I need to be there for moral support. I've worked on this barn all day. I've got so much more I still need to do to it. I need to get it the rest of the way cleaned up. I need to go ahead and in the back wall back there, we're digging a ditch all the way down there at the bottom. And I've got to get water. But the water's coming off the mountain and coming down, and it's hitting that wall back there. I've got to reroute that. And one of the main reasons I'm doing that is because when it rains, when we get a golly washer. Well, anyway, when it rains a bunch, the floor's getting wet. And I want to be able to seal and then paint this floor. But I can't do any of that until I get the water going a different route. But once I get that done, I want to get some insulation in here and get it warmer.
Because if this world,
anyway,
people,
I'm glad to be back out here live streaming. It's the short end of it.
then the universe itself, the energy which underlies it, what it's all about, the ground of being, as Paul Tillich called it, must be intelligent. Now, when you come to that conclusion, you must be very careful, because you may make an unwarranted jump.
Well, which computer
The jump to the conclusion
would look from this one?
that intelligence, that marvelous designing power which
We'll do it from this
produces
computer.
all this, is the biblical God. Be careful. Because that God, contrary to his own commands,
Why ain't it?
is fashioned in the graven image of a paternal, authoritarian, beneficent tyrant of the ancient Near East. And it's very easy to fall into that trap, because it's all prepared, institutionalized in the Roman Catholic Church, in the synagogue, in the Protestant churches, all there ready for you to accept.
I'm going to that. What is that thing
And by
again?
the pressure of
You're-
social consensus and so on, it is very natural to assume that when somebody uses the word God, it is that father figure which is intended. Because even Jesus used the analogy, the Father, for his experience as God. He had to. There was no other one available to him in his culture. But nowadays, we are in rebellion against the image of the authoritarian father. Especially this should happen in the United States, where it happens that we are a republic and not a monarchy. And if you as a loyal citizen of this country think that a republic is the best form of government, you can hardly believe
Why does
that
that
the
keep
universe
wanting
is a
to?
monarchy.
Damn, buffering shit.
But to reject the paternalistic image of God as an idol is not necessarily to be an atheist. Although I have advocated something called atheism in the name of God. That is to say, an experience, a contact, a relationship with God, that is to say, with the ground of your being, that does not have to be
Why won't it
embodied
let
or
me-
expressed in any specific image. theologians on the whole don't like that idea. Because I find in my discourse with them that they want to be a little bit hard-nosed about the nature of God. They want to say that God has indeed a very specific nature. Ethical monotheism means that the governing power of this universe has some extremely definite opinions and rules to which our minds and acts must be conformed. And if you don't watch out, you'll go against the fundamental grain of the universe and be punished in some way. Old-fashionedly, you will burn in the fires of hell forever. More modern-fashionedly, you will fail to be an authentic person.
It says I'm not authorized to start this video call. What's that mean? I don't think it's going to let me do it because I'm already in a live. Maybe I have to. Well, I can't do that. Maybe I have to.
It's something else.
I don't know. Use the other PC or something.
That's something else that's far out.
Shut some of this stuff.
Therefore,
no, I can leave that open.
And indeed Muslim approach makes a lot of people feel rather strange, estranged from the root and ground of being. There are a lot of people who never grow up and are always in awe of an image of grandfather. Now, I'm a grandfather.
Call me.
I have 5 grandchildren.
How do it won't let me call you while I'm on this while I'm on the live stream. What? I don't know. Because it's going to ask to use my mic to OBS and all that's already using my mic. So if I call you on Google Hangouts, how do I talk to you?
We intelligent people don't believe in that kind of a God, not really. I mean, we think that God is spirit, that God is very undefinable and infinite and all that kind of thing. But nevertheless, the images of God are have a far more powerful effect upon our emotions than our ideas. And when people read the Bible and sing hymns, Ancient of Days and Citizens, robed in glory.
I'm saying I don't think it will let me call you. I'll try it. I don't think it'll let me call you while I'm on the live stream, but I will try.
And so we should think, first of all, in contrary imagery. And the contrary imagery is, she's black. Imagine instead of God the Father, God the Mother. And imagine that this is not a luminous being, blazing with light, but an unfathomable darkness.
It says it's calling you, but you're not answering.
By Kali, K-A-L-I, the Great Mother, who is represented in the most terrible imagery. Kali has a tongue hanging out long, drooling with blood.
D Live is unavailable.
One hand and a severed head in the other, and she is trampling on the body of her husband, who is Shiva. Shiva represents also, furthermore, the destructive aspect of the deity, wherein all things are dissolved.
Do we need to? Oh, let's look at that. Let's do this again, folks, and watch this. Let's see. Let's spin her around. Watch this. Here we go, folks. Let's do it like this. Currently, you see OBS. We're going to take OBS and we're going to minimize OBS. There's my stream. We're going to go back over here to Hangouts. Let's call D Live. We just did this. Let's try it again.
Now that's a very important image.
Can we see what that says up here? Calling.
Let us suppose, just for the sake
Hello?
of argument, that all of you sitting here right now
Hello?
are feeling fairly
Hello? I know hear you.
I mean, you're not in a hospital. You don't have the screaming
Ooh,
meat. You have a
man.
sense. You probably had dinner.
Oh, there's a Carolina Reaper fucking pepper fucking piece in my damn cigarette machine deal.
Very far off in the background of your mind. You've got the sensation of something absolutely ghastly that simply must happen.
Man, you fucking, that light's pissing me off.
And so against that, which is not happening.
It's technically not a light, folks. Well, it is a light, but I built it out of a fucking TV.
And that absolutely ghastly thing that mustn't happen at all.
D-Live is unavailable. Did we see this? Did we see this? Just for historical record, this is the second time I have called her via Google Hangouts, as suggested in chat.
It's not in a way very benevolent.
You see me? I tried to call you. It's no, I can't have all this shit open. Yeah, I don't. They don't. Yeah, I ain't into all that. Open all this other shit up. Fuck that.
I'm only putting it forward as a variation, as a way of beginning to look at a problem and getting our minds out of their normal. She's black. Well,
I do need some coffee. Fuck. I need to play the spaghetti.
What is called philosophically the negative.
That's what I gotta put. I need to put an intercom out here to the house. That way I can get stuff when I, not having to. Once I'm out in the barn, I ain't gotta go in the fucking house for nothing.
That's a purely male chauvinistic attitude. How would you know that you were outstanding? Unless, by contrast, there was something in that.
See something, Nate? Let's look at it. Little deal up here.
You cannot.
Oh, can we? Oh, I gotta turn it off just to show you what I got going on right there.
You cannot appreciate the without the healing.
It's my homemade redneck ingenuity, aka studio lighting. Let's turn the one light off. I'll show you what we got going on right there. It's funny.
But we live in a culture which doesn't notice it. You see a painting, a drawing of a bird, and you don't notice the white paper underneath it. You see a printed book, and you think that what is important is the printing.
Where is the?
And the page doesn't matter.
Man.
And yet, if you reconsider the whole thing, how could there be visible printing without the page underlying it?
I can't
what
find
is called substance?
where the.
That which stands underneath. Underneath, stands. To be substantial is to be underlying. To be the support. To be the foundation of the world. And of course, this is the great function of the feminine. To be the substance. And therefore, the feminine is represented by space, which is of course black at night. But were it not for black and empty space, there would be no possibility whatsoever of seeing the stars. Stars
It's not doing it.
and astronomers,
Let's see.
a very
Let's
high
fix
powered
this.
astronomers are beginning to
We got to
realize
do it a different way here.
that
Let's
stars
see.
are a function of space.
Gotta get back on
Now that's difficult for our common sense. Because we think that space is simply inert nothingness. But we don't realize that space is completely basic to everything. It's like your consciousness. Nobody can imagine what consciousness is. It's the most elusive, whatever it is, that there is at all. Because it's the background of everything else that we know. Therefore, we don't really pay much attention to it. We pay attention to the things within the field of consciousness, to the outlines, to the objects, to the so-called things that are in the field of vision, the sounds that are in the field of hearing, and so forth. But what it is, that ever it is, that embraces all that, we don't pay much attention to it. We can't even think about it. It's like trying to look at your head. You know, you try to look at your head, and what do you find? You don't even find the black blob in the middle of things. You just don't find anything. And yet that is that out of which you see, just as space is that out of which the stars shine. So there's something very queer about all this. That which you can't put your finger on, that which always escapes you, that which is completely elusive, the blank, seems to be absolutely necessary for there to be anything whatsoever. Now let's take this further. Kali also is the principle of death, because she carries a scimitar in one hand and a severed head in the other.
You bastard.
Death.
I'm not being able to find what I'm doing. Anyway.
This is tremendously
What I did was I basically took an LCD, what is it, a 48-inch LCD that the screen was bad on,
They try to keep you alive,
and I wired the backlight for the LCD panel to where it, when you plug it into the wall, it comes on. The screen, I took the screen out, got rid of the screen in its entirety, and all that is the light for the display, for the LCD.
have a holiday somewhere.
Works pretty good. It's not as bright. Alright, now we gotta fix that camera. Get that back somewhere else. Alright, here we go. Get that.
Well, of course, we've made death howl with all kinds of ghouls. We've invented dreadful afterlives. I mean, the Christian version of heaven is as abominable as the Christian version of hell. I mean, nobody wants...
We gotta clean our bowl out and pack it again. How about that? We'll clean that bowl out.
Children are absolutely horrified when they hear these hymns which they prostrate...
Smoke one more bowl and then I've got to go in and eat. Get warm. Reload the dehydrator. Woohoo! I'm back to streaming in the barn. Yes, it's been a long time coming and I'm proud to be back home where I need to be, in the barn. Excellent. Fucking excellent.
But to a child, it is a crick in the neck.
I do want to kill some of these lights though. Let's get a little bit of a more of a ambient deal going on here. Come on, you.
The one who knows all about you. This is Big Papa. Who knows you were a naughty boy and a very naughty girl, especially girl, from the beginning of things. He's going to look right through to the core of your inauthentic existence. And what kind of heebie-jeebies may come up. Or you may believe in reincarnation. And you think that your next life will be the rewards and the punishments for what you've done in this life. You know you've got away with murder in this life. And of course, the awful things are going to happen next time around. So you look upon death as a catastrophe. Then there are other people who say, well, when you're dead, you're dead. Just done, nothing's going to happen at all. So what you got to worry about? Well, we don't quite like that idea. Because it spooks.
Ooh, it's cold.
You know, what would you like to die? Go to sleep and never,
folks.
never wake up.
Glad to be back.
Well, a lot of things it's not going to be like. It's not going to be like being buried alive. It's not going to be like being in the darkness forever. I tell you what, it's going to be like as if you never had existed at all. Not only you, but everything else as well. There was never anything, and there's no one to regret it. And there's no problem. Well, think about that for a while. It's kind of a weird feeling you get.
Yes, first night streaming back in the barn, Jinxie. Since whenever the shit happened with the laptop, Was it summer? It was still summer? I don't remember. I think it was summer.
No thing.
I gotta get a bigger heater. We've got a little one out here.
If you go back in memory as far as you can go, you get to the same place.
Let's turn the little one on.
The future is what it's going to be like to be dead.
Yes. Tell your two viewers on your D Live who I am and what I do.
Is the necessary counterpart of what we call being.
I'm called many
We all
things.
think we're alive, don't we?
Some call me Heath.
We're really here.
Some call me CC2 Arms. Some call me True Patriot.
No, the existentialists
I'm called
are
lots of
lying,
things.
wrongness.
If you name me, you negate me. By giving me a name, you negate all the other things I could be.
That as a reality.
That being said, I'm called many things. Frankly, I don't give a fuck what I'm called.
What gives us
However,
just the notion that we're here? Except
called
by
lots of
contrast
things.
with the fact that we once weren't.
What do I do?
And later on won't we? But this thing is a cycle.
It is everything I can possibly
like positive
do.
and negative poles in electricity.
I want to know everything. I want to experience everything.
So this then is the value of the symbolism of
So that I can say that when I speak from the heart. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from a known position. I'm speaking from a learned position.
and the dark.
I'm not there yet. So until I get to that point, I seek everything.
God who has no image.
I'll probably never know
The Father image
everything.
behind the Mother image.
But there is nothing that can stop me from attempting to know everything.
And behind the image of profound and abysmal darkness, there's something else which
By knowing everything,
conceive at all.
I'll be in a better position to fix my world.
Dionysus the Areopagite.
Along the way, I pick up a few tricks here and there. I pick up a bit from every experience that I experience.
Shankara called it Brahman.
It's my
That
perception
which can only, of which
that if I
nothing
share
at
those
all.
experiences and what comes of those experiences with the world around me,
You see that
the world around me will likewise benefit in some way, good or bad, from those experiences as well.
Religious attitude.
And so I do so.
Because what it corresponds to practically
The question, what do I do?
is an attitude
I don't know.
of total trust,
I haven't figured that out yet.
of letting go.
When I know,
When we
I will
form images of
happily
God,
share it with the world.
they are all really exhibitions of our lack of faith. Something to hold on to, something to grasp. How firm a foundation, what lies underneath us, the rock of ages, or whatever, Einfestabur.
See that shit? Motion
But
activated.
when we don't grasp, we have the attitude of faith.
What is living or not living? Either one. How would you define living? What is that?
You will, of course,
What is that? It
discover
just
what the
is.
unknown is.
I mean, I exist.
Which is the
We all
foundation of the
exist.
universe.
But what are we?
It's precisely you.
We're this. This is
Not
us.
the you think you are.
Energy. At the end of the day, that's all there is. There's
Not
energy.
your idea or image of yourself. It's not the
I'm an
chronic
expression of that
sense
energy.
strain.
You're an expression of that energy. This glass bowl is an expression of that energy.
Why would you need to? Suppose you could. What would you do with it? And who would do what with it? You can never get at it. So there is that profound central mystery. And the attitude of faith is to stop chasing it. Stop grabbing it. Because if that happens,
Fucking hands are cold.
the most amazing things follow.
Yeah, I definitely got to get some.
But all these
And I've got
ideas
some
are
insulation. I need to get some work done out here. I really do.
the godly. It's
been rough.
Attitude of
I've still got, what, 15 stitches in my skull? Still have real bad, like,
lay down the laws which
Sometimes my head's been acting funny the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks as a result of that shit going down.
Not the only way of being religious and of relating to the ineffable.
But what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Where are we at on this one? This bowl's about gone. This song here is over. That was Alan Watts we were listening to. What did I grow this season? What do you mean this season? I got stuff still growing. Let's see. Lots of peppers. Lots of cucumbers. Lots of lettuce, lots of broccoli. Lots of tomatoes. Peas. And I thought the peas were gone. I thought peas were done. I thought peas were over. It has gotten, we've had 3 or 4 frosts already. It's cold. Right now, I'm sitting here, I don't know what it is outside. I'm really cold. I went and checked on my, where I had the peas. I was going to get those beds. I was going to cover those beds up with some stuff. And I've got pea plants with flowers all over them. They're enjoying this weather, and it is cold. I thought mine did too. Fuck, I'm ready for like winter. Like I'm already like back to getting the mind set, because you know, come December is when I start getting all my seeds started for the spring crops. I don't really get no downtime. I get about a month and a half from usually about mid-November, early to mid-November to late December. I get a sort of kind of break. But it's not even really technically a break, because you figure, like right now, I got plants all over the fucking house. And what happens in the winter? In the winter, we've got to run heaters. In the winter, we have to heat. Heat does what to the atmosphere? To the regards to the relative humidity. You're running your heaters, whether it's your fucking wall heaters, your propane heaters, your kerosene heaters, your central heat and air heaters, your ceramic heaters. It dries your air out, which causes your humidity to drop. So you find that you're having to water your plants more. Many of you, worldwide, probably have plants that you bring in the house in the winter. I know I do. Stuff that, you know, the only way to really keep it, you know, is to winterize it. Well, when you've got your air drying out, you know what them pots are going to do? They're going to dry out quick. Meaning you've got to water them. And so, technically I should have a break. I do have a break right now from growing that month and a half, from growing any fruits or vegetables. But I don't really consider it a break, because I'm having to use approximately 25 gallons of water, and water fucking every week that month and a half. 25 gallons a week approximately. And I'm having to mist and this and that and fucking. Then you get, when you got animals, I got cats, I got a dog. They're hell with some plants. You know, they're wanting to jump in them, play in them, rip them out, kick dirt out. So you're having to contend with that variable. You'll get there, James. Shit. I've said that a million times. You just gotta stick with it. Keep on keeping on. It gets bigger every year. It gets better every year. You learn more every year. Don't get fucking discouraged and fall victim to despair and give up. It's too hard. I'm no good at it. I suck. We've all been there. We've all been there. A lot of people give up, man. They're too hard on themselves. Nature's a motherfucker, but she's a damn good teacher, and you will get it right. You'll get it. You'll get it. With all of it, you'll get it. It takes time. We all change. We all evolve at different rates. You'll get it. Just stick with it. Nature of fucking you can go as far as you want to go with plants and animals. Yes, sugar baby watermelon. I had fucking 3 of them on the plant. 3 of them. And somebody stole one. I don't know if it was a person. I don't know if it was an animal. Somebody fucking stole one. Damn, that fucking jerks my fucking chain. It's fucked up. But something stole one. One of them was tiny. I mean, tiny. And I had one that, the size of a cantaloupe. I don't know. It was sweet. It was a good watermelon. I liked it, and I kept the seeds from it. Yeah, something stole one. It was just gone. Woke up and fucking. I had it sitting on a cup. And when I come out the one day, the cup was laying in the driveway. And I was like, what the fuck? My presumption was wind or something. Northern Trail Dog. Cheers, friend. Thank you for being there in chat. I see you. And anybody that pops up in the chat, please, be sure to follow my twin brother's channel. I think the link should be somewhere up in chat. If one might have to scroll up there quite far, but it's up there somewhere. But anyway, yeah, something stole one of the sugar babies. The one that I did actually get to eat off the plant, I really dropped the ball when it came to the sugar babies, when it came to the cassava melons. I grew those. When it came to the cantaloupe, I messed up that, and I don't really have a good excuse. The only excuse I've got is I grew a total thus far this year, 621 plants. That's different kinds of plants, excuse me. 621 is my total plant count. Of that 621, it's been, 51 strains of organic, natural, edible, or medicinal fruit, vegetable, fungi, herb. And I'm still going. Had a rough one this week. We had radishes that I had in a bed that I had set up for this, which should be harvested like this week. And the chickens they fucking motherfuckers. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say that. I love my chickens. Damn you. That's like clap on, clap off, but I got to damn wave my arms and shit in the air like an idiot. Yeah. Oh my God! Look, this is an epic chat. Perth observers in chat. There's Northern Trail Dog, D Live Jinx, and the 2 other anonymous visitors. Keeping in mind, I do reiterate, I love even my haters. I love y'all too. Whoever, wherever, whatever you are, I love you too. Of course you didn't get a notification, Perth Observer. You could click bells and fucking likes and fucking you could carry me around in your pocket. They still wouldn't tell you if I was live. If I fucking had a laptop and was sitting in a room on a couch beside you, live, something, somewhere, somehow, Google affiliated would prevent you from knowing I was live. Yes, I would spill beer on it. And it would sit in a closet for 8 months. And I'd get mad and stoned and take it apart and not be able to figure it out and put it back together again. And it would fucking work like magic. Oh, that makes me think of a song that I'm not allowed to play due to copyright issues. That last comment was directed at Perth Observer. She mentioned Ring My Bell. Oh, let me rephrase that. To quote her, she said, Ding My Bell. I honestly did not know if I would get all the computer bullshit carried out here, and whenever I had my little adventure and got my head split and all that shit, a lot of stuff come up missing, a lot of stuff got rearranged, a lot of stuff got altered. Anyway, it's been an issue just to even get back to live streaming, period. But more so, it's been an issue of getting everything in a position where I could. Hex Rex. Cheers, friend. Where's our ball at? We gotta pack our ball again. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's just sit here and freeze to fucking death. The minute I go in the fucking house. Where's the jar of pot at? I can't find the pot now. Fuck, I'm stoned. Maybe I shouldn't smoke pot. Yeah, of course I should. God damn, where's the ball at? There we go. Alright. Maybe the coldness is getting to my brain or something. Oh man, I don't need that much. Hell no. I'm sitting here bitching. One minute I'm bitching because I'm almost out of smoke, and the next minute I'm smoking it like I'm never going to run out. How's that for fucking logic? No, I don't do nothing that isn't natural. If it's natural, yeah. But if it's not natural or naturally obtained, meaning I'm not even going to fucking deal with anything that's natural but has had synthetic input. If it's not natural or naturally obtained, I don't want nothing to do with it, period. And assumptions make an ass out of you and me. It's a little bit too dark in here. I'd get a shot on these ashes. They're pretty white. I could have stood to probably tried to flesh it just a little bit more. But that being said, no complaints. The man knows his stuff, but unfortunately, I wasn't too happy with the way things worked out between myself and the original developer of the genetics, the original breeder of them. Not to say we had a falling out or anything like that, because we didn't. I just, I seen some flags fly up that I wasn't really happy with, you know, and I've learned that, you know, when you have an instinct, follow your instinct. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean that there's not some big boot right in your step on your fucking head, because there is. Paranoid or not, it's not are you paranoid. The question should be, are you paranoid enough? When I feel uncomfortable about somebody, it's the easy thing is to disregard them in their entirety. It's just safer that way. Once your heart's pure and your mind is a little bit clearer and more focused, Hex Rex, you'll find that your need or your desire to have assumptions is less. You get to a point where you don't even assumptions are almost beneath you, almost inferior, and you don't really want to associate with assumption or presumption, because those would be similar or in a lot of ways just like opinion. Either you know something or you don't know it. And if you don't know it, then seek to know it. And if it is something that you know, then that, voids any reasoning or logic for having an opinion or an assumption, because you know what you know. That's why you can't think about shit like that. Assumptions, if you let your mind even go that direction, there's already things that have already become aware that you are aware that you're having that instinct or that perception. If I acknowledge something in the mind, at the point at which I acknowledge it, it becomes known universally that I acknowledged it. There's things that would love nothing better than to lie in wait until a time when there's indecision. When you're indecisive, when you're at a point where you want to know something but you don't quite know it yet and you can't put your finger on it, and you're at the point where you're making presumptions and assumptions. There's things that will capitalize on that indecisiveness. What would the solution be? Control your mind. Don't allow it to go that direction. I know that's a lot of bullshit, because, we can't entirely 100% control the mind. Most of it, we don't even know what the fuck it even does. However, we can attempt to control as much of the direction that the mind takes as we choose. We do have free will. We do get to willfully make choices if we choose to do so. Thoughts are what manifest reality. Why do you think you can't see if you were floating around magically in space? How would you know how far you were floating around? You can't see no sun, you can't see no stars, you can't see no planets. Visible light doesn't become visible until there's an atmosphere. Thoughts manifest things. None of this becomes visible or known until it's already visible and known. Well, see, to have a chemical reaction, a chemical is physical. And you can't have physical until after there's a thought. How do you know? How would you know it's been there? Because somebody told you it was there? Did someone tell you that and you believed them? Somebody told you there was a mountain behind your house before you perceived there to be a mountain behind your house, and you believed them. You put thought, mental, physical, and metaphysical telepathy into a mountain being behind your house, and you did so for no other reason than someone told you there was a mountain behind your house. Wow. People will tell you a lot of shit. That doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it real. That just means somebody told you. Somebody showed you. Somebody gave you the idea of something. Somebody directed your pattern of thought. And based on your own individual pattern of thought, a reality existed in which there was a mountain behind your house. I need to get an indoor-outdoor thermometer out here. I do know when I checked earlier on the out there at the chicken coop, it was 45. And I can agree with your last comment though, on your walking around in spiritual realms before you were flesh, before you were in this fucking avatar, this skin suit. Certainly possible. I don't perceive that we ever that this is the only incarnation, the first incarnation, last incarnation, or the only. We all probably did a lot of other shit before we willfully signed up for this fucking scam. And I do literally mean this fucking scam. This was a fucking, I don't know, a piss poor fucking joke. Not for all of us, but for the good majority of us. Well, we call this a fucking a soul trap, a Saturn moon fucking matrix, a fucking an infinite loop, perpetual servitude. Yeah, we're minors. Is that what we are? We've been sold, whether speaking S-O-L-D, sold, or sold like our soul. We've been sold into a fucking prison for our mind, like the fucking, just like the Matrix movies say. And that's probably more believable than most other philosophies. It's definitely a trap of some sort. From birth, just like a fucking, like a boat, a ship, birth. Anyway, yeah, this is simply is that's a good one. I concur with that. It's like most things. Well, who's that said that about us? He said, I could describe most of life that way. Just is. Just is. It's neither good, it's neither bad, it's neither perceived nor not perceived, it's neither existing or non-existing, it just is. It's infinite and finite all at the same time. It's nothing and everything. It just is. Either you have a plan, or you are in fact part of someone or something else's plan. I damn sure am not going to be a follower of anything or anyone. I'll take what I can use from opportunities that present themselves for my exploitation. However, other than that, I don't really have much use for many things or many people. It's not that I mean to be arrogant or conceited or delusional. I just don't have much use for a lot of the things that the average are typically coerced to perceiving that they have use and need for. Watch out for my little friends in the sky. They're out tonight. You know, it was a clear night last night. It's a clear night tonight. Well, for the most part. Visually speaking, with the naked eye, probably about 80% visibility, which is pretty good. It kind of sucked last night. It was really clear. And, yeah, fuck. Sky is just alive. That motherfucker's got all kinds of shit going on. Who was it? I was talking to somebody the other day, and it was their perception that they're seeing Jupiter. I said, "What's that?" They said, "Well, I think we can see the planet Jupiter." What's that? Well, it's the planet Jupiter. What is that? They couldn't fucking... I said, you mean that whatever the fuck that is that you're seeing, you perceive it to be Jupiter. And you can't tell me what Jupiter is. You're no use to me. What the fuck? You're seeing shit and you don't even know what the fuck you're seeing. How are you going to help me? What do you have that can assist me? You don't even know what the fuck you're looking at. How can you be of use to me? If you don't know what the fuck you're looking at, you don't know what you're seeing, then you don't know how to interpret what you're seeing. And if you don't know how to interpret what you're seeing, then you don't even know what the fuck's going on. And if you don't know what's going on, you're no better off than I am. You are either an enrichment to my life, my existence here, and if you are not, then you're a detriment to my experiences here. Northern Trail Dog. Later on, friend. Thank you for being here. It was a pleasure. Get straightened out. Things will go the way things are destined to go. Resistance is assistance. I will not squander my free will, because free will affords you one thing and one thing only: the ability to make choice. Keeping in mind, when you make a choice in its entirety, you are responsible for both all of the positive outcomes for that choice, as well as all of the negative outcomes for that choice. And there are an infinite number of positive outcomes and an infinite number of negative outcomes for every choice that is ever made or has ever been made. Your choices are very, very, very significant. They should never be wasted. They should never be squandered and pissed away. Each one is super, super intelligent. And unless you know which choice is the right choice, if such a thing exists, the best thing to do in any scenario is avoid making choice, because you will be held accountable for your choices. in their entirety. I really don't think there's much hope for the human species, Hex Rex. Sadly, I mean that. Sadly, I really don't feel that for the human species at large, in general, how many times do they get to a position in which they can help each other and they instead hurt each other? And not thinking in the here with regards to the here and now, but from the beginning to the here and now. Throughout history, how many times do they make the same mistake before they realize they are making the same mistake? How many times do the people, places, and things that choose to try to assist in preventing mankind from making the same mistake, does mankind prove yet again that it will do nothing other than make the same mistake? What good could ever come from associating with something that wants nothing other than to fail? I must realize that they must in fact choose to fail, because they have always had the same choice and have always consistently, when given that choice, made the wrong choice. That is real. We can look at whatever aspect of man's history that we choose to look at. How long can we keep denying the evident? How long can we keep making up the excuse that, well, not all humans are bad. There's some good ones. How long is that excuse going to be viable for? You can't give up on man. There's some good ones left. Where? The human species, it was a fucking shitty ass experience. Been there, done that. Got a t-shirt. Not happy with the color of it. The man is arrogant, cocky, conceited, vile. The human species has been cut off from probably 3/4 of the overall bandwidth that it was always intended to transceive and receive. Hue is color. What color? Every color. Every. And how many colors are in that infinite number are we generally representing nowadays? Used to represent this much of the spectrum. Now we represent what? This much of the spectrum? And we don't even care that we don't even care. What about the other day? Did anybody see the one place they were feeding the fucking homeless? And what did the authoritarians do to the peoples that were feeding the homeless in this one particular story from last week? What'd they do to the food? They put bleach on it. They put bleach on it and ruined it because you're not allowed to feed the hungry. I remember at the circus one time you could buy peanuts. You could buy peanuts to feed the elephant. That fucks with me. I'm sitting here looking at a big old fucking thing with tons of fucking peanuts in it, and you got some hungry fucking elephants, and if I give you money, then you'll give me a few of these peanuts and let me feed an elephant? So you got a hungry elephant and you got food for a hungry elephant, but I have to pay you for the privilege of giving food to the hungry animal. Yeah. Humans are fucked. And they've brought everything that has and will come upon them, they've brought it on themselves. And they have no one's to blame but theirself. They will live and they will die for nothing as a result of their choices. And that's not me being an ass. And that's not me trying to scare nobody. And that's not me being mean. That's me being honest and talking from the heart. And I'm sorry for the way that some of the things and some of the ways in which I present some of the things come across. I can't help that. Nor would I want to if I could. You people have been coddled your whole fucking existence. That's why you're so fucking ignorant. Most of you. And you don't have, you can sit there in this oblivion and pass off accountability for all of this on everything and everyone around you. And you can say that, you know, people like me are just fucked up in their head, and, you know, cast me aside. But at the end of the day, you still have to live and die as a result of the choices you've made, and you don't even give a fuck what direction them choices take you. That's a problem. And when you've got, when you've got a majority of a species that inhabit an area that want nothing more than the destruction of that area, that's not sustainable. I know you all with this with the motherfucking Agenda 21s and the Agenda 2030s and fucking the Illuminatis and the New World Orders and all of this shit. You've been conditioned to buy into the distraction. And by buying into the distractions of this place, you think that somehow appeases your guilt. That somehow appeases your karma. That somehow puts you in a position where even though you're still going to be held accountable, you can pretend that you don't have to see what your actions, what your choices, what your inactions, what your thoughts are doing to this place. But it doesn't work that way. All that ever was or ever will be or ever can be is right here, right now, existing in this existence, parallel to everything. every dimension, every physicality, everything that's metaphysical, everything emotional, every wavelength of every energy. It is all around us right now. And tuning the important stuff, tuning the truth, tuning the heart of the matter, tuning things out isn't the answer. If you turn a blind eye to stuff, it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Because you can't see something doesn't mean it is not there. It doesn't disappear when you turn your back on it. And that's what the human species does. It doesn't like what it sees in the fucking mirror. So it breaks the mirror so it doesn't have to look at itself. The problem with that philosophy, the problem with that lack of logic, is that the very things that you were scared to look at are going to haunt you that much more once you break the fucking mirror. Living in this idea that you should be scared of the truth, which means you should silence the truth, you should censor the truth, you should otherwise prevent the truth from coming out, doesn't make the real thing less real. It doesn't alter the truth. The truth doesn't require your vindication, your acceptance, your verification, your affirmation, your agreement. It doesn't need any of that. The truth stands on its own merit. We run and we cower in fucking fear. Mankind has had how many chances? And what's it do? Rather than evolve, become a success, it chooses to regress. It chooses to cower. It chooses to become a failure. And then somebody picks it up. Here you go, we're going to give you another chance. Well, maybe you'll get it this time. Mankind gets to that same point and does the same thing again. It fucking feeds off itself. And for what? It's as bad as the goddamn fucking the fucking idiots talking about Trump making America great again. What the fuck? When has any president in the history of America ever made any country great? And has there ever been a great country? If so, when? Where? As long as people are watching other people starve, they are in no position to call themselves great. As long as people are watching other people die needlessly, they're not in a position to call themselves great. You can't see strife, hardship, drama, pain, anguish, illness, disease, death, rot, decay, destruction. You cannot see all of this stuff. Turn your back on it and pat yourself on the back and call yourself great. You can't even call yourself worthy of life after allowing all of that stuff to happen on your watch. And as a human, you have a moral and ethical obligation to every other human in existence. And when shit fucks up, we're all accountable. All of us, myself included, we are all accountable. And this place it's hitting that point again where it's about to be no more. Doesn't matter how you choose to perceive it. Look around. It doesn't take a genius to see the writing on the wall. And this isn't the first time. When is the last time? Is there ever going to be a last time? Or are we just going to keep fucking bouncing our fucking head off the wall? Keep fucking up. Keep fucking up. Well, it ain't my fault. I got a good job. I got some money in the bank. Fuck these rest of these idiots. That's the problem. We don't, you know, when my world and my species around me fuck up, it's a poor reflection on me. When I fuck up, I'm a poor reflection on my species. Blame, and it's none of it is getting us anywhere. Our paths are so fucking distorted. You're not even allowed. We live in a world now where to think critically of anything is discouraged. To speak from the heart, to be truthful to oneself, is discouraged. The very fact that right now, of 9 Facebook profiles that I operate under, and I'm banned from 24 to 30 days right now, currently, on all of the accounts. The fact that of the 4 YouTube channels I have access to, I can only stream from one of them. The fact that of the 4 Twitter accounts I have, only one's accessible. And so what? Maybe I'm a crazy fucking idiot, but I still should be able to have a voice. I should still be allowed to say stuff from the heart. I should still be allowed to be truthful to myself and it be acceptable. As long as I'm not making others do as I say, as long as I'm not making others feel as I say, as long as I'm not living their lives for them, I should be allowed to be who I am without it being provocation for things to attack. But I'm not. So what does that tell me then about society, about the human species? If I were thinking critically of the world around me, and I were looking into such variables as all of the plants, all of the animals, human species included, every life, and I had to take issue and see actual problem with one species, and I'm going to be honest, what species would be the one that we would consider to be posing the most detriment? What species is truly the problem here? Is it the cats? Is it the felines? Are they the issue? Are they the problems? Are they the ones fucking up the sky? Are they the ones killing the rainforest? Is it the canines? Are they the ones destroying my world? Our world? Is it the mosquitoes? Are they to blame? It's the human species. Other than destroy, and that's sad, because I truly believe, and I with all of my heart, and I have always believed this, I've always felt this to be true, that we are the creators here. And it's like we create for the purpose of having something to destroy. Does any other species other than us do that? I don't know. What I do know though is I'm cold, and I have got to get in here and get these peppers put in the dehydrator and get the other ones out and loaded up in the jars. I do appreciate sincerely everyone that has come by. I will get working on this little tech issues shit, so I'll get this shit all squared away. I will get some stuff cracking pretty quick here. And for the time being, I will be on the other channel. I'll be using it to upload my videos and that type of typical traditional content. But for the purposes of live streaming, I'm gonna make a go with this channel and live streaming from here. I am gonna. Anyway, I'm back to being able to be in the barn, which means I've got a certain... anyway, I feel more safe. I feel more secure out here. I got my guns, man. Anyway, I got my... I'm safe out here. I feel better. I feel more comfortable out here. So, on behalf of Volunteer Agriculture, True Living Organic Farms, much love to everyone. Thank you again for being here. It's truly been an honor. It's been a pleasure. And until next time, folks, try to be productive. Try to love one another. Later. Peace out, everyone.